to be detailed?
His sense of her inferiority in class, family obstacles.
As he said this, Elizabeth could easily see he had no doubt of a favourable answer.
Mr. Darcy, it is natural that a certain amount of obligation should be felt on my part. And if I could feel gratitude, I would now thank you. But I cannot. I have never desired your good opinion, and you have certainly considered most unwillingly.
Was that a no?
Did she just say no?
Before you walk through that door, I'd resolve to strike you down. My honor, nay, the honor of my family demands it.
Elizabeth struck a basic crane pose, which she thought well suited to the cramped quarters.
And this is all the reply which I am to have the honour of expecting? I might perhaps wish to be informed why, with so little endeavour of civility, I am thus rejected and challenged.
I might as well inquire, with so evident a desire of offending and insulting me, you choose to tell me that you liked me against your will, against your reason, and even against your character? Do you think that any consideration tempts me to accept the man who's been the means of ruining, perhaps forever, the happiness of most beloved sister?
Poor Jane.
She's so right.
Elizabeth attacked with a series of kicks.
Forcing Darcy to counter with the drunken washwoman defence.
I had every reason in the world to think ill of you. No motive can excuse the unjust, ungenerous part you acted in dividing Jane from your friend Mr. Bingley. Can you deny it?
I have no wish of denying that I did everything in my power to separate my friend from your sister, or that I rejoice in my success. Towards him I have been kinder than towards myself. I am not ashamed of the feelings I related. They were natural and just. Could you expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your training? Ha!
How dare you?
To congratulate myself on the hope of relations, whose condition in life is so decidedly beneath my own.
You are mistaken, Mr. Darcy, if you feel that the mode of your declaration affected me in any other way than as it spared me the slightest grief which I may have felt in beheading you, had you behaved in a more gentlemanlike manner. In short, sir, you could have not made any possible offer of your hand that would have tempted me to accept it.
That's just cold. Said quite enough, madam. Forgive me for taking up so much of your time. Accept my best wishes for your health and happiness.
Did he just leave?
He left.
But as he left, he was attacked by zombies!
I think we get the picture. And now, critical commentary of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. First, we compare both the
Pros.
and the
Cons.
Pride and Prejudice in Zombies is a rich, multi-layered study of love, war, and the supernatural.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is described as Jane Austen's novel, expanded to include zombie scenes. That's sort of true.
Pride and Prejudice in Zombies transforms a piece of world literature into something that you would actually want to read.
Frankly, these are the most boring zombie scenes I've ever read. The action is predictable and choreographed like a bad B movie.
Well, there are zombies. Get it? The whole reason of reading the book is to laugh.
For a parody to work, there needs to be enough of the original essence present so that when a change occurs, it's both unexpected and original. This stretches the same joke out for over 319 pages.
Very interesting, very interesting. And now the reader discussion questions in the back of the book, shall we?
Yeah.
Elizabeth, this one's for you. Many critics have discussed the dual nature of Elizabeth's personality. On the one hand, she can be a savage and remorseless killer. To wit, her terrifying solo slaying of 3 unmentionables. But on the other hand, she can be tender and merciful, as in her relationship with Jane, and later with Darcy himself. In your opinion, which of these halves best represents the real Elizabeth?
Elizabeth knows the joys of standing over a vanquished foe. She says, there's a stubbornness about me that never can bear to be frightened at the will of others. Very telling.
Alright, let's move on. To Vomit. Vomit plays an important role in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Mrs. Bennet vomits quite frequently. Mr. Bingley, also. So does the author mean for this vague agitation to symbolize something greater? Or is it just a cheap device to get laughs? Anyone?
I suppose I'll try. Unless you... No? Okay. Cheap device? No. Realism? Yes, yes.
A question I've asked myself many times. Does Mrs. Bennet have a single redeeming quality?
Well, no.
And finally, many critics have suggested that the author's use of zombies represents his views towards marriage. An endless curse that sucks the life out of you and just won't die! Do you agree, or do you have another opinion on the symbolism of the unmentionables?
Allow me to quote from the final paragraph of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. England remained in the shadow of Satan. The dead continued to claw their way through crypt and coffin alike,
Feasting on British brains.
Victories were celebrated and defeats lamented.
and the sisters Bennet.
Servants of His Majesty, protectors of Hertfordshire, beholders of the secrets of Shetland, and brides of death.
Were now brides of man, their swords quieted by that only force more powerful than any warrior, love!
Really?
Really?
Sorry, I'm losing my voice. But Miss Mac made an announcement at the beginning about how wonderful everybody else was, but she forgot to mention herself. So we got her a little gift, and we want to celebrate how awesome of a director she was and how much we love her.
That's it. She was attacked by zombies!